Good day and welcome back to the Family Cyber Clinic. This week we're going to be discussing internet safety tips for parents with children or kids who are either 13 years old or under 13. And we particularly address that age bracket because we know that many social media platforms take on kids from the ages of 13 and above. So that the under 13s and the 13s don't feel left out, we're covering some safety tips our parents can embrace while they engage or lead their under 13s on the internet. And so there's several things that we're going to be discussing, and the idea is just to discuss it so that you are aware of them. You can see or take this as some sort of appraisal, and the idea is that you are constantly renewed in your thinking whilst you pilot your young ones on the internet. So the first thing that we would urge parents to do with their under 13s is to discover the internet together. I know many of you are asking, which planet are you on? You're just discovering the internet. Well, if you think really deep about it, there's some of our kids who don't know about the internet. So we're saying under 13. So ages of 4, 5. Yes, they may be on their smartphones, but they may not truly grasp the importance or the relevance of the internet. So you have to go on that journey with them. So be the one who introduces your child or your children to the internet. You understand? Let it be an experience for both of you. And you will know that we've said on this platform that parents are often intimidated by the internet knowledge of their young ones. So it's also possible for parents who don't know, or rather it's possible that parents exist who don't know that much about the internet. So take this journey with them together, and it can only be to your own advantage. So discover it, try to find websites, that are exciting so that together you can engage. Make fun and hay together with your child as they engage on exploring the internet. It could make it very easy for you to share positive and negative experiences in the future. So that's vital, absolutely vital that you go on this journey with them together. The second is digital boundaries. And we've spoken about digital boundaries on several videos on the platform, and we're doing it again. Okay? So agree digital boundaries with your young one. Agree with your child rules for internet use in the home. Try to reach an agreement with them, that will act as a guideline, and it will apply to internet use in your own household. And we hope that as we, equip them, as you and I equip them, that when they now go to a foreign environment, say their friends and all that those boundaries will still remain. You certainly don't want a situation where you set boundaries at home, and then when your kids go on a sleepover, which I have so much issue, or I have several issues about, everything just breaks down. No, we don't want that. So talk to them about those digital boundaries that are not just for your household, but even when they're away from home. Okay, so some things that you can discuss whilst establishing those digital boundaries. You can discuss when and how long is acceptable for your child to be on the internet, to be on their smartphone, to be on that iPad or the tablet. You've got to discuss it and ascertain or agree how long your child can engage on those systems. Agree how to treat personal information. We've talked about how important personal information is. So you don't want your child to just upload information to the internet without thinking. So teach them how to treat personal information and agree, that they will not just post content without engaging you or at least thinking about it. Discuss how to behave towards others when gaming. You understand? Most of the habits our kids pick up, they pick it up from strangers. Because if it's shocking you, it means it's not from your home. So they've picked it up from people outside. And I know that gaming in general is quite hyper. And so words slip. It's not that I condone it, but ultimately words slip. And your kids could be picking up that language there. So discuss how to behave. Whilst they play, they can keep quiet. They can engage, but not overtly committed. Well, I suppose you need to win. So you'll do anything to help you win, but you've got to watch your language and behavior, okay? And that involves also emailing or messaging. So that etiquette, the good way to perform and behave whilst engaging on the internet, flows through all means of communication. And then the fourth, agree what types of sites and activities that are okay. You know, you can't just have your child go to any site because they can. No, agree. Son, daughter, these are the sites you should be going to. You have no business going to these sites, okay? And if you do that, you're giving them a head start. And then the final one, certainly in the guidelines for digital boundaries, you have to follow your own rules. So you have to lead by example, and we've shared several videos on that when we started this almost 12 months ago. So you can see this video is some sort of appraisal, you know, but ultimately you have to lead by example. You as a parent can't just be going everywhere and expect the child to do the same. In some cultures, that may be the case, but on the internet front, you're on a level playing ground if you are a novice. So you've got to engage your son or your daughter and tell them. You understand? You tell them by you doing. So you're leading from the front. And explain why you do certain things that they're not allowed to do. And that's just what boundaries are. I'm the parent, you're the child, ultimately. But get them to understand it so that there's no confusion. All right? So those are the guidelines or the to-dos around digital boundaries. Another point that is important that we reveal or do with our children is don't be too critical. Don't be too critical towards your child's exploration of the internet. I had the opportunity to speak to a friend, I can now call him, about his child's desire to be a content creator at a very young age. And that blew my mind, and I'll do everything possible to make sure that the parent is encouraging that young one. The whole idea is to make sure that you're not limiting them. If there's a desire to do something, you as the parent can now guide them on how they can engage on the internet. As we've always said, the internet has a lot of positives. The negatives are just coming in, and the channel is that, for that matter, is trying to prevent you from getting, into any bother because the rogues have a different agenda. Okay? So don't be too critical. You may find that sometimes your child may accidentally come across a mature site. If you've not done all that we've recommended if you look at the information bar, you can click on the videos. If you've not mentioned or had that discussion with your child, or you've not blocked the adult content from source or enabled the things that will filter it out, your child, son or daughter, may accidentally come across adult content. Do you understand? Accidentally. Of course, there are those children who would or can possibly go there on purpose. But ultimately, children are curious about off-limit material. So if you say it's off-limits, they're sleeping at night, they're thinking, what's there? What's there? They're curious. And that is their nature. They're kids. They're inquisitive. So you can't be too critical, of your son or daughter's internet exploration hunger. So be realistic in your assessment of how your child should engage on the internet. Okay? And then the last bit that I would like to cover is let your children show, what they like. Allow them come to you and say, what do you like on the internet? Or what do you really do online? We've also shared a video about that you're aware of what they're up to. All those videos are supposed to bring you and your son or your daughter to a common place where you are engaging as a parent. Okay? So let your children show you so that you'll be able to guide them. If you don't know where they're visiting, you have no information to work with. So let them guide you, and show you what they like to do online. And you may find that you're interested in the same things, but ultimately you have to support them. Let them show you the websites they like visiting and what they do when they're on there. Okay? So as I've said, the internet has a lot of good aspects. Equally, maybe not equally, but also it has negative aspects. It's an excellent educational source. It's also good for recreation, okay? And for recreation, all work and no play, your kids need that balance. So encourage your children to make the most of it and explore the internet with them, to its full potential. Vital, absolutely vital, okay? Good stuff. Okay, so we're going to use the clinic section as we do each month to plug the live Q&A that's coming again on the 25th of July 2020. It's a Saturday, it's at noon. The whole idea is real-time engagement. For those of you who can't make it, please look at the description. There is a link there where you would be able to submit questions that we would use, or address on the day. But don't be left out. Make sure you tell your friends, make sure you tell your family, and engage. Engage and engage. Send those questions so that we can tackle them together, okay? It will be really, really nice to have you on the day. So make it a date, 25th of July, 2020 at noon. And it's a Saturday. I hope to see you there. All right, so the PowerPoint for this week. A prudent person sees trouble coming and ducks. A simpleton, they call them, walks into it blindly and is clobbered. I'm your host, Cyber Pastor Lawrence Edem. Until next week, God bless and goodbye.